The Toyota Land Cruiser nameplate is the epitome of reliability globally when it comes to cars, and it's divided into a family of three. We have the heavy-duty Land Cruisers, we have the light-duty Land Cruisers, and the station wagon Land Cruisers. And today we are privileged to have the latest. Toyota has continued to improve these vehicles over time. And at Auto Connect, we promise to bring you even the latest cars in the global market. And today, courtesy of Car Soko, we are privileged to have the new 2024 Land Cruiser 300 series, and this is not your ordinary 300 series. This is a real GR, and as usual, Auto Connect is the only channel that will guarantee you an alluring motor vehicle experience, and I'll be your host, and I'm excited to be your host on this episode because we are reviewing one of the most exciting unveiled models in the recent past, and that is the 300 series. Eric Wakabi, Eric with a CK. Remember, you can follow me at a personal level on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok as well. When we talk about the biblical Holy Trinity, we talk about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that Holy Trinity is also in the Toyota Land Cruiser family. Yes, and I'm going to tell you how. Well, over time, the Land Cruiser nameplate has been known for its legacy of reliability, and through Toyota's philosophy of Kaizen, they have continued to improve the Land Cruiser over time, and today we are privileged to have the latest. And you see, it's exciting because Land Cruiser has recently revamped the Holy Trinity, and today I'm going to explain to you how the Land Cruiser Holy Trinity is. We have the new 79 series, which is a heavy-duty Land Cruiser, and that is the father in the Land Cruiser Holy Trinity. And then we have the new Prado J250, that is the son in the Land Cruiser Holy Trinity. It's the son because it's a light duty series. It's smaller than the Father and the Holy Spirit. And talking about the Holy Spirit, on this review, I'm excited to be reviewing the Holy Spirit in the recent Land Cruiser Holy Trinity, and that is the 300 series. And my favorite in the Land Cruiser series was the 80 series. It still is the 80 series, but I must say that the 300 series is an exciting variant, and especially because for the first time in the Land Cruiser legacy, we have a GR variant in the Land Cruiser lineage, and today we are going to give you an up close and candid review of this GR because it's quite different. And well, for this review, we are going to maintain the GR trim level. There are so many trim levels of the 300 series, and if I talk about them in this episode, it's likely to get you, the viewer, confused. So what we can do is that later on, we'll still go to Car Soko and bring you an episode that will bring together the trim levels in the Land Cruiser 300 series, because they also vary from fuel type to market. So we need to sit down and actually, dismantle them and tell you what are the features in each of them. But today we stick our review to the GR. Now, this is the 300 series GR. It's a 2024, and in the Land Cruiser 300 series, we have two new things. One, the V8 engines are gone, and now we have a new breed of V6 engines. Also, the other thing that has gone, the Land Cruiser 300 series has lost some weight, and I will be telling you more about that when we talk about the chassis and suspension. And I'm excited to present to you the new range of engines that are available in the 300 series. The Land Cruiser 300 series is available in a couple of engine variants. We have the V35A, which is a 3.4 liter V6 twin turbocharged engine, and that is petrol. The other one is the F33A. That's a 3.3 liter diesel V6 twin turbo, and the other one is quite rare, but it's still available, and it's an older engine, and that is the 1GR, the 4 liter 1GR V6. So the V8s are officially gone. However, if you're buying the GR, it's available in two engine options, a petrol and a diesel variant of it. Well, the petrol variant is, I've told you, the V35A V6 twin turbo, and it will give you a whooping 409 horsepower and around 650 Newton meters of torque. Now, the fun in the GR, if you buy the petrol one, you will get so much horsepower, but if you buy the diesel one, what are you going to get? You're going to get a lot of torque. The heart to the diesel Land Cruiser 300 series GR is the F33A, the 3.3 liter V6 twin turbo engine, and it will give you around, not so much horsepower, but it will give you a decent 309 horsepower, but a whooping 700 Newton meters of torque. And you see, with these new engines, people are, or rather Toyota diehards are throwing questions of, we know the 200 series was reliable, apart from the 1VD, but the 1VD was an engine that proved to be a headache to many. But one of the problems with the 1VD was actually people used the wrong oil. And now this brings me to a very important conversation, and that is using the right oil for, your engine. And Toyota has been known for reliability. Even the Land Cruiser family is known for reliability. But no matter how reliable your engine is, if you use the wrong oil, you're going to have problems with that particular engine. There is quite a good number of car manufacturers that recommend Castrol Edge to be used in their vehicles' engines. Some of these manufacturers are Subaru, the Volkswagen Group, Land Rover, Volvo, and so many others. However, Toyota's relationship with Castrol is actually a deep one, because it dates back to the early 90s, the golden era of the WRC, when Toyota was racing the Toyota Celica, the ST165 GT4 and the ST185 GT4. The ST165 won about 13 titles in the WRC, and the ST185 won about 16. And there is no better way to try and test how good an oil is than motorsport, because in motorsport, oil is subjected to the toughest conditions. And that was not only the time that Castrol products have been used in motorsports. Even today, M Sport Ford still relies on Castrol Edge to keep them on the road in the toughest of the rallies in the world. So no matter which car you're driving, whether old or whether new, like even this 2024 Land Cruiser 300 series, Castrol Edge will offer the right oil product or the right lubricant for your vehicle's engine. How is power transmitted to the wheels in the 300 series? And this is another very significant difference between the 300 series and the 200 series. If you buy it with the V35 petrol engine or with the F33 diesel engine, power is transmitted to the wheels through a 10-speed automatic transmission. However, if you buy it with the less popular 1GR, you might be getting still the old 6-speed automatic transmission. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo? So the GR will come with a 10-speed automatic transmission. But if you the GR variant and also other variants that come with the V35 or the F33. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo? And now let's talk about the suspension and the chassis of the 300 series, because this is where the difference is set between the 300 and the 200. In fact, the engines might be significant, but the chassis and the suspension is what even makes the gap a little bit bigger. The 300 series sits on 18-inch wheels, the GR variant, and it still has double wishbones at the front. However, there is a significant difference between the double wishbones on the 300 series compared to the double wishbones on the 200 series. The double wishbones on the 300 are mounted higher, and this improves a little bit of steering dynamics and also handling. Another contributing factor to the handling dynamics of the 300 series is the chassis. It has been built through Toyota's new global architecture technology, and The specific chassis that is used on the Land Cruiser 300 series is the GAF, the Global Architecture F chassis. And as it evolved, as the 300 series evolved from the 200 series, it lost some weight. In fact, the 300 series is 200 kilograms lighter than the counterpart, the 200 series. And not only that, the chassis, the GAF chassis on this vehicle is also more rigid compared to the one on the 200 series. And this means that this vehicle is not only lighter in weight, it is safer and it's more adhesive to the road. It's an SUV but has the handling that approaches sports car territory. The rear of the 300 series is one of the parts of this SUV that has received a lot of critique. There are people who are saying it doesn't look good, but I want to allude to something. For the ladies in the dating scene, sometimes you'll be approached by a guy who will tell you that you're the most beautiful girl in the world. However, the said guy does not even have a passport. The farthest he has been is probably Kino. So what is the measure of the most beautiful girl in the world? Yet that guy has not been past Kino. You see, that is the same case with the people who are saying that the 300 series is not pleasant looking at the back. For me, this look is conservatively Toyota. And when we are reviewing the Prado J250, which is coming soon to Auto Connect, we are going to tell you more about why Toyota is shifting towards a boxy, rugged design. Because you know, one thing about Toyota is that they respect where they have come from and they want to bring out the retro design in their latest vehicles. So mark my words, we are going to have a very interesting discussion with the J250, and once you understand that, you'll be able to understand why the 300 series looks the way it does. It will take a man or a lady of fine taste to appreciate this look. So if you don't appreciate this look, you are either new in the car world or your taste is surprisingly questionable. Well, the other significant difference between the 200 series and the 300 series is the tailgate. With the 200 series, we had a split tailgate that would open like that. But on the 300 series, we have a solid single tailgate that is powered. And under it is a very decent cargo space. The 300 series is available in 7-seater and 5-seater configurations. However, if I was buying a 300 series, why would I need a 7-seater variant of it? Anyway, most full-size SUVs today come with 3 rows of seats, but I always find the 3rd row of seats to be a nuisance. This particular GR is available in 5-seater. However, if you were to buy a petrol GR, it would be available in 7-seater for the people who have evolved from a Toyota Wish to a Noah to a Prado 7-seater and now want a 300 series 7-seater. Anyway, I don't get why people buy these cars in 7-seater, but it's purely a matter of preference. One thing why I prefer the 300 series 5-seater is because of the boot space, because once you're using it with all 3 rows of seats folded up or in erect position, you get limited boot space. But for the 5-seater version, you get significant boot space. Now I want us to check out the interior because this vehicle is drenched in tech. Inside the 300 series, there is a massive change comparing it to the 200 series. First of all, the instrument cluster is a combination of analog and digital. The speedo is analog, the fuel gauge is analog, the tachometer is analog, but the whole center bit of the instrument cluster is digital, and this is the temperature gauge, and also if you're interchanging driving modes, all that you will get it in a digital platform. Now the other interesting thing about the 300 series, Toyota has a heritage of continuously improving things, not major differences, but going bit by bit, and that is how they have been able to, to retain their trademark reliability. However, the most interesting thing about the 300 series, most modern SUVs, especially from 2020, are bringing in either screens or touch sensitive surfaces to replace buttons. However, the 300 series still has the buttons on the, you get the physical buttons, and this is for the to give the driver of the 300 series that nostalgic Toyota feel. You know, Toyota has gone very emotional with the 300 series, the J250 and the J250. It's a whole emotional marketing ball game. They understand that the person buying a 300 series is somebody who has owned a Land Cruiser before, and they want to keep that feeling with you. What do you have in terms of technology that was not in the 200 series? Well, the design is very unconventional comparing it to the 200 series. The start stop button is in a very awkward position, and where you would think the engine button, the start stop, the engine start button is, well, there is a mode select button. In fact, it's very easy to confuse the two. But I find it's quite unconventional, but it's different in a good way. Other things that we have before we get to the technical bit, you have wireless charging. You also have Type-C charging, and the sound system in this 300 series is just crazy. You have a JBL sound system inside the vehicle, and one thing that has really got me impressed is the fact that there is a CD changer. Is it a CD changer or this is a DVD? Yeah, whatever it is, it uses discs like CDs or DVDs. Like, you know, I wonder what was in Toyota's thought process when they integrated these. CDs inanuliwango wapi ama DVD? We even forgot about it, but they slapped it in the 300 series, and that shows you that Toyota actually values those. It values heritage, it values history, because I would not particularly use it, but I would love to have this just for the vibe, you know, to remind me of those days when we used to buy physical CDs. Now let's get technical. The Land Cruiser is known for being a formidable off-road vehicle, and the 300 series has taken that a notch higher. And I'll just start it. Oh my, there is that diesel grunt and the GR coming to the screen, and man, this just feels good. GR is Toyota's motorsport wing, and they have tweaked this 300 series to feel like a slender SUV
card is not inserted,
but with the handling dynamics of a GR vehicle. Well, let's start with the drive modes. In the 300 series, the drive modes that are available, you have Eco. This is when you want to save fuel. You have Comfort, you have Normal, you have Sports S, Sports Plus, and Custom. So the most aggressive mode, the most aggressive driving mode in this vehicle, or the most exciting driving mode, is Sports S. And it gives you variety, more variety than what was offered in the 200 series. Now let's get to the four-wheel drive modes. Well, what Toyota did, they introduced what is called MTS. MTS is basically multi-terrain select, and what multi-terrain select does, it adjusts, it counters wheel spin by adjusting throttle control and the vehicle's traction control. So it does a lot of work for you. It keeps you very, very, very safe. Also, you have downhill assist and crawl mode. So crawl mode, basically when you engage crawl mode and the vehicle is in low range, it crawls pole pole too, using the ABS system. It's a sophisticated system to crawl you up, to get you out of either very steep, very rocky, mostly steep and rocky. Crawl is going to come in handy. Crawl was also in the 200 series, and it was one of the groundbreaking technologies in Toyota's off-road driving technology. Then another significant difference between the GR and the normal 300 series, the other variants, is that the GR has 3 locking diffs, whereas the standard 300 series only has one center locking diff. So when you buy this, you're having, just like the G-Wagon has 3 locking diffs, the GR has 3 locking differentials. And this is, people who drive off-road will understand how handy this comes in? Well, in terms, I told you this vehicle is permanent 4-wheel drive. So the range is either 4 high or 4 low. You do not drive this vehicle in 2-wheel drive mode. Tuko pamoja? What else do we have that would aid somebody who is enthusiastic about driving off-road? The camera. You see, if you're driving in tricky off-road situations, you will need a spotter. But with the 300 series, you don't need a spotter. You don't need somebody telling you, kuja, kata kwangu, kata kwako, leta gari hadi usikie ku. No, the 300 series, you don't have that. You have a 360 surround camera that comes in very handy when you put the vehicle in MTS. And let me touch the camera. So it will see what is around you as well as what is under you. Yes. So if we put it in MTS, you can be able to see what is around the car, what is just ahead of you. So it's actually very hard to hit terrain if you're driving the 300 series because you have all these cameras that come in very, 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 very handy. So if you put it to 4 low, you're able to have all these views. Yes, like hapa tunaona chini what is right under the vehicle. So it's actually very difficult to damage this if you use this technology properly. Are we together? What about the comfort? Well, the 300 series is both a comfort-oriented SUV and an off-road oriented SUV. I told you it has wireless charging, it has Type-C chargers, it has a CD player, and then it has a cooler box that can be opened from the driver's side, from the passenger side, and even watu wa nyuma mnaweza fungua fridge. Okay, not all variants of the Land Cruiser 300 series come with a fridge, but some do, and it's a very cool feature if you're driving in a very hot place. You can keep your drinks chilled. There are other things that are both impressive and not impressive at the same time. One of them is, you know, the dashboard has a very good leather finish, but the center console has a cheap looking plastic finish. However, this is again coated with a layer of leather, but I can try and defend Toyota in this way. You do not need leather up here. This is a surface that should be very easy to clean because it's susceptible to a lot of dirt. So that's why they kept it simple. However, most plastics are brittle and they start popping off, but on the 300 series you will not get that because it has been very well coated with a fine, expensive leather finish, and the center, this part of the console has been attached to the chassis. So even if you were to push it, it cannot bulge out. Interesting. Trying to make things luxurious yet simple in nature. The 300 series is both an off-roader and an on-roader. So if you're driving in busy traffic, there are fuel-saving tips on the 300 series. It has idling stop, so ukikanyaga brake inazima. If you get to traffic light, sometimes it's annoying keeping your leg on the brake pedal while the vehicle is in drive. However, if you have auto hold for the first time in the Land Cruiser, so if you engage auto hold, assuming you're in traffic and you engage hold, you can let go of the brake pedal and the vehicle remains stationary. So once the lights go green, you just tap on the accelerator pedal and auto hold goes off. So that is how auto hold works. It has been used in so many vehicles, even in economy vehicles, and it's a very convenient feature for city driving. Well, on the second row of seats in the Land Cruiser 300 Series GR, you get ample legroom. However, because of the new TNGA chassis, you find that, or you feel that the second row of seats sits a bit higher. But the convenience features are still here. You get the JBL speakers, you have these screens over here so you can watch something as your chauffeur drives you. Then you get 4-zone climate control on the 300 series. So every passenger in the 300 series can control their, their AC. The only unlucky people, if you buy a 7-seater, the last row of seats will have a problem. They'll have to be dependent on you. Well, you still get Type-C, you still get, and for if you're in Limuru for some reason, if you're driving in Limuru, you get heated seats even at the back, and you also for the driver you get a heated steering wheel. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo. So, but to be honest, for an SUV this expensive, comparing this car to to its Range Rover counterparts, yes, the front is very comfortable, but the rear is I can I can confidently say that the 200 series is more comfortable at the back compared to the 300 series. If you're of a different opinion, please tell us in the comment. But my personal opinion is that the 200 series is more comfortable at the back compared to the 300 series. 300 series is more or less a driver's car, not a passenger car. And the Mhesh, wale waheshimiwa wako na 300 series, tafadhali jaribu kuketi kiti ya mbele. You will notice the difference. Finally, driving the 300 series, and I must say it does not feel like it's an alien vehicle. It does not feel extremely different from the 200 series or any other Land Cruiser. The biggest difference is in its handling. It's far much more, it handles better, it corners better. The Toyota's AVS kicks in perfectly, whether you're on road or you're off road. And the fact that this one is a GR, it takes that handling even better. And also, not only handling, the GR is tweaked to give you 300 horsepower and a whooping 700 Newton meters of torque. That is for the diesel. But if I was to buy a GR variant of the 300 series, I would buy the petrol one, because the V35A, because it will give you a whooping 400 horsepower, man. But one beautiful thing about the diesel is the grunt, the torque, because we are going uphill, but if I throttle it, woo! Nice. Now that's a real GR. And the 300 series has been tweaked by GR not only to feel like a luxury SUV. No. It has also been tweaked to feel like a sports car, man. It has carried the legacy of GR into a full-size luxury SUV, because to be honest, it's really fun to drive. It has razor sharp handling courtesy of the hydraulic power steering and the actuator. Actually, the power steering on this one has an actuator to make sure that you have razor sharp handling, because you attack a corner like lightning and disappear like smoke. That's one beautiful thing about driving the 300 series. It's not only it's an experience. And man, I must say, having driven almost all variants of the 200 series, the 100 series, when it comes to driving, it has the old Toyota heritage, but it has also, the TNGA technology, the higher mounted double wishbones at the front, the Tosen rear differential, the full-time all-wheel drive, the AVS. They have just set the 300 series to an all-new level. The other luxury SUVs might not give you what the 300 series can give you, and that is a sports feel. Yes, if you're driving, most people who love JDM sports cars don't love them for being luxurious. No, they love them for giving you that feeling of interacting directly with the road. And the 10-speed automatic transmission, you feel like you're going through those gears in a linear way. It gives you kick down when you need it. It's a very intelligent 10-speed automatic. The other thing, and the other feel that you get when you're driving a 300 series is, the 200 series had some very awkward driving dynamics, especially because of weight. Now, on the 300 series, they have an electronically controlled braking system that when you brake, irrespective of how hard you brake, it will still give you braking momentum in a linear way. Driving experience in a 300 series, all I can say is that it's just driving pleasure. It takes it's good that we are in the 21st century in the vehicles, we have at least one vehicle that is not driving itself, and that is the Land Cruiser 300 series, giving you the feel of a modern day 2024 vehicle, yet the driving experience, the driving interaction of a 90s sports car. All I can say is that I'm really impressed by the driving feel of the 300 series. I hope this has been an insightful review. So tell us, do you think the 300 series is an upgrade or a downgrade comparing it to the 200 series? Do you feel Toyota is going towards a more interesting lineage of some of the world's most celebrated cars? Well, part of the things that really scares me is, my grandfather told the Land Cruiser story. My dad told the Land Cruiser story. I have lived to tell the Land Cruiser story through the 80 series, the 100 series, and the 300 series. Now, in 2023, there was a concept that Toyota brought to the world on a Land Cruiser that had a monocoque chassis. Yeah, the 300 series is a body on frame, but can you imagine a Land Cruiser series that sits on a monocoque chassis? Well, it is something that I might see in my lifetime, but I don't think it's going to be a very interesting story to tell. But that is for us automotive purists. For people who want cars to move from point A to point B, it might not matter much. And remember, automakers are not building cars for us purists. They build cars for the mass market. So they try to reduce the cost of production to suit, so that they can make some money and suit people like accountants who do not care about a car's heritage. Anyway. We have had this review courtesy of Car Soko, and asante sana Car Soko for being the partners for this particular review and giving us this vehicle. Manze, showrooms moba wataki kutoa hii gari kwa showroom, and guess what? Next episode we are going to bring you the new LX600 courtesy of Car Soko. It is based on this vehicle, but it has taken luxury to a whole new level, and I'm excited about the next episode of Auto Connect, the next review, because man, the LX600 is something that is the Land Cruiser 300 series, but with a lot of spice, with a lot of refinement, and we are going also to dive deep into what Lexus is bringing in the near future. Before I sign out, remember we offer services such as pre-purchase inspection and consultation. You can reach us through the number in the description below. Also, you can call Car Soko to ask about the price of this GR, or you can visit them Pale Village Market. You can talk to my boy Afuya Pale Car Soko, and they have a whole range of luxury SUVs that you can look up to. Na pia usisahau kusubscribe, bofia kile kidude, bofia ile button, yeah, just click on subscribe. Also share this video so that it can be recommended to your friends. I've been your host Eric Okabi, Eric with a CK. We value your feedback. Tell us, what do you think about the 300 series in the comments segment. Next, we bring you an even more alluring episode on the Lexus LX600 courtesy of Car Soko.